I was 34. A single mom, balancing work and parenting, just trying to find peace. My life was practical, organized, predictable. That was until one random summer day, I took my daughter to a music festival. She was a huge fan of this rising boy band. I was just there to chaperone. Backstage, through a friend of a friend, we got to meet the band. That's where I saw him. Hayden. He was 24, a global pop star with charm, fame, and fans screaming his name. I was just someone's mom, standing awkwardly by the drinks table. But he noticed me. Not in the usual way. Not like a fan. He smiled like he saw me. The real me. Scene 2, the unlikely connection. We talked. About books, old movies, and travel dreams. He was surprisingly thoughtful, mature beyond his years. And I found myself laughing in a way I hadn't in years. After that, he texted me. And I didn't know how to feel. Part of me wanted to protect myself. The other part, the quiet, lonely part, felt alive again. We started talking more. Texts turned into calls. Calls turned into long late-night conversations. And then one evening, we met again. Scene 3, falling quietly. There was no grand gesture. Just a quiet dinner, and a long walk under city lights. He reached for my hand, like it was the most natural thing in the world. And suddenly, I wasn't a mom or a professional or someone who had put dreams aside for others. I was a woman. Seen, wanted, loved. But the world doesn't make love easy. Not when you're 10 years apart and one of you is famous. We kept it quiet. Secret hotel rooms. Hidden trips. Whispered, I miss yous, over FaceTime. And yet, every time we were together, time stopped. But the media started noticing. Rumors. Photos. Headlines calling me names. I saw how it affected him. I saw how it affected my daughter. And I wondered, could love really survive this much pressure? Scene 5, the breaking point. One night, after a tabloid published photos of us together, I got a call. My daughter was crying. Kids at school had seen the article. She felt embarrassed, confused. And I realized, my choices were hurting her. Later that night, I met Hayden. And I told him I couldn't do it anymore. He didn't argue. He didn't beg. He just looked at me, eyes full of pain, and said, I knew loving you wouldn't be easy, but I never thought letting you go would hurt this much. Scene 6, the aftermath. We drifted apart. I went back to my routine. He went back on tour. And life moved on. But not a day went by when I didn't think of him. Not just the man, but the idea of him. Of being seen. Of being loved, not for what I do, but for who I am. Years passed. And then one afternoon, while walking through a bookstore, I saw him. He looked older. So did I. But that smile, that same smile, was still there. He walked up, paused, and whispered, Still reading poetry at night? I laughed. And suddenly, I knew. Even if we never found our way back, the idea of him had changed me forever.